Welcome back, aliens. This is Navin Reddy from Telusko Learnings, and in this video we'll talk about enhanced for loop. So this is a theory for enhanced for loop, and we also have a practical after that. So why we require a new for loop when you already have a for loop, right? So we are coming from C, C++, and everywhere we use for loops, right? So this is one of the best loops we have. Now, if you work with a for loop, so that's how it looks like, right? We have a for loop in which you have to specify the initial value, you have to specify the condition, and then we have to specify the increment or decrement operator. Now, let's say I want to fetch the values of an array. So either you can use an array or you can use a collection. But since we have not covered collection yet, so let's talk about array. So let's say we have an array here, and this array is of around 6-7 elements. So let's say we have 6-element array here. Now, how to fetch values? Whenever you want to fetch the values of an array, we have to specify the index number, right? So let's say your array name is values. So to fetch the first value, what we'll do, we'll specify values, and in bracket we have to mention 0, right? So it will give you the first value. We have to specify values, in bracket you have to specify 1, it will give you second value or second index number. So second value with the index number 1. So when you want to fetch the values of an array, if you have seen the example where we have talked about arrays. So imagine array is a tray of cups, right? So whenever you have this tray of cups, why you have to count while providing the, let's say you want to take out some cups from the tray. So you don't count, right? This is for you, this is for you. What we do, we take out the cup and we give it to those people, right? In the same way, if you have an array here, why to specify the index number while fetching the value? Can we do something where you don't have to specify the index number, directly you can use it. In fact, when you use this index number, this for loop, it may generate bugs. So in order to do that, in order to solve that problem, we have the enhanced for loop where you don't mention the index number, right? So we have, while fetching the values of an array, in this for loop, we specify the index number. In enhanced for loop, we don't specify the index number. Then question arises how it works. So this is a syntax for enhanced for loop. We just write for, then we mention the data type, which is int, right? So let's say we have integer values. If it is string values, you can provide the string. Then you have to mention the variable name, and we have to specify colon and the array name. So what will happen now? So let's imagine we have an array, something looks like this. So from this array, we have to fetch values, right? So let's say the first element is 5, and you want to fetch that value 5 now. So when you work with this for loop, you have to specify values. In bracket, you have to mention 0, right, or I, which will fetch the value. Here, this enhanced for loop will go to the array, and it will fetch the value 5, and it will put it into that I variable, right? So now the value of I is 5. So we are printing the value of I. In the next iteration, it will fetch the next value of your array. Let's say it is 7. So it will fetch 7 now. So the value of I is 7. So I there is not a index number. I is the value. Okay, it's the value from the array. So that's the main difference between the normal for loop and enhanced for loop. In enhanced for loop, we don't count the index numbers. We directly fetch the values and print. So from today, we should be using enhanced for loop, right? Not normal for loop. But hold on. Enhanced for loop only works with arrays and collections, right? And you have to fetch all the elements. You cannot say, I will fetch only first 5 elements. You have to fetch all the elements using enhanced for loop. But in normal for loop, we can specify how much value we need, right? So depends what's your requirement. If you want to go for limited values, go for normal for loop. If you want to go for entire array, you can go with enhanced for loop. So that's how your enhanced for loop works. We'll see the implementation in the next video where we have the practical. So thank you so much for watching, and do subscribe for further videos.